Some of these are controversial for what? Some of these are controversial. I can't speak. We're already off to a great start. Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. My name is Katie, and in today's video I'm going to be reacting to some unpopular book opinions. But before we get into that, you know what time it is? It is time for Book Spotlight. So today's book is Dorothy Must Die by Danielle Page. Now, if you're a fan of Wizard of Oz, I think you'd be a fan of this. This is a series, and I think there's either 3 or 4 in the series, but basically Dorothy's just gone rogue, okay? Dorothy's bad.
I'm Dorothy Gale, and you're on my street. Not a good witch, I'm a bad bitch. Ruby kicks on my feet.
She is now the ruler of Oz, and she's not doing a very good job. She's let the power go into her head. This is not the Dorothy you remember from The Wizard of Oz. So this teenage girl ends up getting sucked into the land of Oz, and there she discovers that, hey, Dorothy is actually terrible. She's just terrible. So she has to actually go into like cahoots with the wicked witches that are still alive and try to take down Dorothy. So if you're a fan of the Wizard of Oz series, I think you would really like these. It's a YA, so just be aware of that going in. But I highly enjoyed this book. I haven't finished the series, but I have read like the first 2 books in it, and I really like it. Give this a shot if you're looking for like a new type of fantasy to get into. Okay, so let's just get into these unpopular book opinions, because we know I'm going to have something to say about probably a lot of them. The first unpopular opinion is, I don't mind bending my books / damaging the spine as it shows they've been read. Yes and no. I can agree with this and I can't agree with this. I don't know, because yes, as long as they're not my books. I can appreciate a broken spine as long as they're not my books, because I have a thing about my books being just aesthetically pleasing, and if the yeah, so broken spines are fine as long as they're not my books. My sister knows this. When she borrows my books, I'm like, do not break the spine. And the next one is paperback because it's more affordable than hardcover. Yes and no. Again, I prefer the look of a hardback, but I like to read a paperback because it's easier to read and hold when you're lying down or doing other things. But I like the look of a cohesive hardcover. But if the paperback and the hardcover have the same cover, I'll go with the paperback. But if they have different covers, I want the hardcover. If that makes sense. It probably doesn't, but yeah. The next one is nighttime reading over daytime reading. 100%. I can read during any time of the day, but I prefer nighttime. It just helps me like wind down after the day, helps me to go to sleep, unless it's like a thriller or something, then I can't sleep. But I prefer to read at night. But like I said, I can read during any time of the day. Not all romances need a happy ending. But like, do they? I don't know. Like, I feel like I'm reading a romance and I want a happy ending. Like, I don't, okay, I went in blind to Nicholas Sparks' The Best of Me. And that, spoiler, it does not have a very happy ending, and I hated it. I watched the movie, I didn't read the book, so, but to me it wasn't a happy ending. So if I'm going into a romance and I know that it's a romance, and I know what I'm getting into, I prefer a happy ending, unless it's like a series, and then if it ends in a cliffhanger, that's fine. But I prefer a good old fade to black happy ending. Love triangles can suck, but they can be amusing too. Yeah, I think if the plot like needs a love triangle And if the writing's done really well, then it can be good. Like, do I prefer, like, I guess, like, I'm trying to think of what I read that had like a triangle in it. That was a circle, but you know what I mean. And I'm thinking of Twilight, and I just think that was unnecessary. That triangle was just unnecessary because we always knew she was going to pick Edward. It was no competition, like, ever.
How can I ever trust her scientific conclusions if she prefers Jacob to Edward?
But yeah, so I guess it depends on the writing of the book and like the story itself, if it would like need a love triangle. The next one is sprayed edges are overrated. Agreed. I think they're pretty and I like to look at them, but I don't see a point in getting them because my books are all pointed so you can see the spine. So it'd be a waste of money. So yes, they're pretty, but yes, they're overrated at the same time. I just wouldn't spend my money on them.
Keep the change.
My best things in life are free, but you can get them through the give me the money, baby.
This one is not a fan of sob stories for villains. I disagree. I like me a villain. Especially if he's a love interest. I like me a villain, and I like to know why he's a tortured soul.
Oh no, sweetheart, that's a bad idea.
But I have a soft spot for villains. So if you don't like villains, I guess you wouldn't want a sob story for them. But like, I'm thinking of Reese right now, and he was a villainish, and then he wasn't, and then you get to hear his story, and it just came all around to a circle, and it was just so good. But like, this can count for everybody but Tamlin. Tamlin doesn't get a sob story, I'm sorry. The next one, sex scenes in books make me uncomfortable, so I don't like it. Sorry.
Want a lap dance?
I'm sorry. I read those books for a reason. Okay, look. If you're gonna read a romance that you know is steamy, then why read it if you don't like those scenes? Like if you're gonna read like a Katie Robert book and you're like, I don't like those scenes, I'm not gonna read. Well, you're not gonna read the whole book. Like, just know what you're getting into, like, when you start a book. But honestly, they don't make me uncomfortable. It's a thing. Not everyone does it, but a lot of people do it. Okay, so I'm not uncomfortable by reading it. The next one is I hate the smell of books. Okay, that's hostile and terrible. I can't even with that. I love the smell of books. A brand new book, get it from the bookstore, you open it, oh my gosh, it's like crack. I love it, and that's all I have to say because I love the smell of books. The next one, I thought The Cruel Prince was overrated. Obviously, I do too. I got a whole 50 pages into that book and I DNF'd it because it was boring. I just could not get into it. I don't know what was I don't know if it was my problem, the book's problem. I don't know. Will I go back and try it? Perhaps. But yeah, I couldn't get into that book at all. Twilight was absolute rubbish. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no, 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 no. Yeah and no. Okay, hear me out. Hear me out. I know the writing is not the best. However, Twilight was a moment. Okay, she was the moment. She was a cultural phenomenon. You can't deny it. It did so much for the YA community as a genre, because once that book came out, you then had angels. You then had fallen angels. You had werewolves. You had fairies, you had vampires. Okay, that opened up so many doors for the genre that even though it was rubbish, and I will admit that the writing's not the best, so even though it was rubbish, it did so much for the community. It did so much for the genre that you can't deny. So like, you can hate on it, but it still did what it did. ACOTAR is not spicy and is overhyped. Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth. with soap and wash it out. I love Ekachar. It's if not my favorite series right now. Is it overhyped? Yeah, I'm sure it's overhyped for a reason. But I agree that like the last book was overhyped, and it was my least favorite book. It's because it's my least favorite character. I'm not a Nesta fan. I'm sorry. I do like Cassian. I still like Nesta, but I will say the spicy scenes. Tamlin is just as redeemable as Rhys, and if Tamlin should die, so should Rhys. What? Excuse me, whoever wrote this. No. No. I feel like, sure, Tamlin is redeemable. Sure. If Tamlin dies, then Rhys should die. No. That's terrible, and I don't agree with that at all. Because Rhys is the best, and I'm sorry if you don't agree. But, Tamlin could die and I wouldn't shed a tear. I would sob hysterically for Rhys.
You're sitting there laughing. It's not funny.
Ebooks are great. I agree. I think there's nothing wrong with ebooks. I have a Kindle. Do I remember to read it sometimes? No, because like if it's out of sight, out of mind type of thing. So I prefer a book that I can see, because then I know I have it. Because I'm like, I will forget with the Kindle that I bought in a book. So, but yeah, I agree. Ebooks are fine. The smell of old books while reading and the rain outside could be the best idea of romance. Yes. Excuse me. I love this. Whoever you are, I will marry you. No, but like, yes. Also, if you want to take me on a date to a bookstore, please. Like, that is my whole idea of romance. Like, yes. I agree 100% with this. Yes. Love reading, but don't really like discussing what I'm reading. I can't relate. It's my hobby. It's what I do. But yeah, I guess some people just like to read and not talk about what they're reading, which is fine. I am an attention whore, and I love I love talking. I love the attention. But yeah, some people don't like it, and that's fine. Beautiful covers don't always mean good content or good story. Agree. I have yet to read a book that has a good cover and not a good story inside, but I know it's possible. I know it's a thing, and I know it's going to happen eventually, but I am dreading that day when it does. I skip boring paragraphs. Same. All the time. All the time. I don't know how many times I've like skimmed through to get to a part where it's like dialogue again, because there's only so much you can like describe of something, and I'm like, I don't care. Or when I'm reading, I will put my hand like on the book so I don't skip ahead, because I know something big's coming up. I'll do that too. But yeah, I will skip all the time. The handsome bad boy is way too arrogant to find attractive. I can't relate. No, sorry. Like, again, I know it's fiction, but I want my bad boy to be like, I want him to be like that. I don't know why. I'm damaged. Damage. I thought that I should let you know. I don't know why. I just prefer my bad boy to be an arrogant prick, I guess. I don't know. But then, like, he's soft-hearted when he's around her. You know, because women have that thing where they just like to break a bad boy. I don't know. Libraries don't get enough love. Buying books is great, but many can't afford it. Agree. Libraries are fine. I think libraries are good. I haven't been to one in a long time. That's because, like, I had fines, so... But my county just got rid of fines for 17 and under for kids. So that's really good, because they want to be able to make sure that people can like start going back to libraries and stuff. So, and I have heard the other counties are doing that also, which is really good. I think libraries are great. Like, of course ours has been closed because of COVID, and they just now reopened and everything. But yeah, no, there's nothing wrong with going to the library and getting a book. The last one is only read books based on the cover. All the time. Are you new to this channel? Because I'm a cover buyer. Sometimes I don't know what the book's about, and then I get it home and I'm like, hey, no, this is not for me. But the cover is really pretty. But yeah, those are some unpopular book opinions. Let me know down below. Do you agree with these? Do you disagree? What are some of your unpopular opinions? Leave them down below because I'll do another video and I will reply to your guys's, and I'd love to see what other people's opinions are about books. But I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, be sure to give it a thumbs up and consider subscribing if you're new. All my social media is linked down below as always if you'd like to follow me on Goodreads or Instagram. But yeah, I hope you have a great day and I will see you all in the next one. Bye guys. This chair. Why? Why do you make so much noise? Why? See? But before I get into that, you know what time it is? It is time for Book Spotlight. We have a new book to spotlight to you guys. I guess that's what I'm going to say. I have no idea what I'm talking about. Okay. It did